Mountaineering, it's part in my downfall. You see, I'm a mountaineer. I actually am one of those guys that goes and climbs ridiculous things like this. This is Mount McKinley. This is where I love to climb. Anybody been to Alaska? Oh, get out there. It's lovely. It's fantastic. It's just the biggest, whitest, coldest place in the world, and it kills people. You see, this is the last photograph I have of me in one piece. And when I say in one piece, let me just do that. Let me just do that. If I'm really good at balancing, I'll just do that. You see, that photograph was the last one I have with anything that's still attached. Within 24 hours of that picture being taken, I look like this. Aren't I a darling? I was put into a hospital bed in America. I was told to sit down, shut up, do nothing, and eat for 3 months. Tell that to a teenager, they think it's wonderful. Give it to a mountaineer, it is the worst thing you can say to them. The pictures get worse. You see, after 5 weeks, this is what my face looked like. Don't I look great here? I've got a black nose, I look like a blooming spaniel. And all I've got on the tip of my nose, and that's the bit you breathe and smell with, is the smell of death. Because my nose is dying, my cheek is dying. That's what I looked like 5 weeks later when it fell off because I sneezed. They said, Nigel, do you want a new nose? I said, yeah, give me a new nose. Where's it going to come from? Not a problem, we'll peel your forehead off. So there's the scar, and there's the nose. That's exactly what they did. Stories are always best when told from the heart and told from the person. I then had to look at my feet, because with frostbite, all you can do is watch your own body die. There's no magic potions, there's no get-out clause. They can't dress it, you watch it, you face it, and then they amputate it. I had to watch my feet turn black, my toes turn black, and I had to have the whole lot cut off and both heels removed. I have no toes at all. And that was the view I could never see. Because when you're lying in a bed, you can't see under your feet. But I got a good medical photographer who turned out to be a fantastic friend. And what you can't see in this picture is I'm holding the green sheet out of this, having a laugh. And she's going, oh, it's peeling a bit. All right, okay. Well, what are they going to do with me? Well, you know, after about 5 weeks, they're going to take the knife out, mate. And they're going to cut them off. Okay, so how do we go through this? We go through it because we have to. We go through it because it's the only thing we can face. This is our body. This is what is happening to us. We have to get through it. People say, hold on a minute, where's Nunu come from? Why'd you have a Nunu? Well, here it is. You lose all your fingers and all your toes. What do your mates buy you? A bloody nail brush. Do not underestimate the power of comedy when you are in a desperate, desperate situation. Do not also underestimate the power of your friends helping you, because that's what they did for me. They came out and said, Nigel, let's go climbing. I said, great. I haven't got a book. I haven't got a guide. What do we do? Well, we'll bolt something on your feet, we'll bolt something on your hands, and we'll just do it. That's exactly what we did. Climbing without fingers, though, is very hard. And as he reached over gaily to pick this up, he said to himself, I'll have some spares if you don't have any of your own. And so they made me some spare fingers. You can do the nails. You can wave. You can insult people. And if you've really got children, and they don't fall off, you can wave over the street like that. Trust me, it sends an 8-year-old wild. But I'd got no fingers. I'd got nothing there. And they were saying, well, how are you going to climb? How are you going to grab things with these? And I said, you know what? We're going to work it out. I've been an engineer for 20 years. Stuff it. I'm going to do it. So I got these. Normal, ordinary, boxed ice axes. Nothing special. And I had some bits put on with Jubilee clips and PVC tape. And that allows me to climb waterfalls like that. Because these are the axes I used. You're probably thinking, Nigel, that is an epic journey. I bet you never went and did anything exciting ever again, did you? I said, yeah, I went to Greenland 3 years later. And I went climbing in the Arctic and ski mounting and ski touring. This is the kind of thing, sledges on your back, big skis, away you go. You can't go skiing without toes. Why not? Who's making the rules here? I am. What did put a lot of people off was in that situation, not far from there, had an appendicitis. And I got pumped with a lot of drugs, and I got through it. And I got to Iceland, and I got through it. And in Iceland, I collapsed and went to hospital and did another country's hospitals. And then people said, are you going to give this up yet? I said, no. So I went to Borneo. And in Borneo, I went looking at these beautiful rocks to have a climb and a ponder around and go through the jungles and see the orangutans. And the only way to get around in Borneo is by road. Road that's wet and wide and takes a boat. We call them rivers. You've got to use a river. The problem is, what's the problem when you're underwater? Are we designed to breathe underwater? No, so why did my boat sink, throw me down to the bottom, and the outboard nearly cut my head off? Because that's what happened. Boat like that. Only 3 or 4 years later, after doing further adventures, I went to climb in Nepal, this big peak on the right. The one on the left's Everest. This is Amadablam. It's one of the most technical peaks in the world. People are going, but you're injured. I said, I don't care. I love mountaineering, and I tell you what, anybody in here like camping? Anybody like going on campsites? No? What's wrong with that then? Because that's the kind of place we camp, and we love it. Oh, have I told you yet I have vertigo? And finally, just to make a day of it. No, you can't all get knotted, but what you can do is understand that this was the rope, not many seconds after this picture was taken as I was abseiling, that snapped. And I went flying down that ice face for about 200 feet, wondering what the hell was going on. And I'll only say this, ladies and gentlemen, why do people never want to go on holiday with me?